If you've been following my punk rock discovery here on the channel for the last several months, what I'm about to say might surprise you. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Low End University. As I said, this might surprise you, but by happenstance, about 2 years ago, I saw Alkaline Trio live. Some friends and I went to see Coheed and Cambria, one of our favorite bands, one of my favorite bands, and Alkaline Trio replaced Dance Gavin Dance at the last minute. None of us really got the memo, and I'd never heard of the band, but I remember being really latched onto them. I saw a bald bass player rocking out with a lot of energy. The crowd was really into it, and I just never went back and checked them out. That's on me. But one of our patrons suggested Mr. Chainsaw, specifically a live version, because the bass was apparently easier to hear. So that's what I'm doing today, a 5-camera angle version of Mr. Chainsaw live. But this song is from the band's third studio album, From Here to Infirmary, released in 2001. So I've seen them once live. I'm going to watch them again live, and I would love to come back and check out their stuff on recording later. But let's get to it. Mr. Chainsaw live from Alkaline Trio. Viewing the song, Mr. Chainsaw, with 5 cameras at once. Okay. Ooh, 2 810s.
What was it that you sold you got traded before something more than you so jaded? Why is it that you never said I love you more than just a friend? Pray this grid line never ends. When we get that just a bit. Found out recently that you are leaving. But could I help by softly turn my ceiling?
Yeah, that bass is cranking here. I can hear that he's got this kind of melody already right out of the intro of the song, and this kind of tells me that this is probably a more bass-driven band than I might have kind of gleaned from seeing them live. Again, I was kind of on the side, didn't have a lot of sound. I was more just attracted to their energy on stage, and not knowing the songs, it was kind of hard to pick it out, but I can really hear the bass here. And what I find interesting is that already it's that classic role reversal of bass and guitar, where the guitar is kind of just sitting on one chord, on A, or an A major. And then you have the bass up here doing more of a melody. It kind of sounds like he's going down that A major scale just in sequence. That kind of thing. But what's interesting is that that could, in any pop punk song, really, it could just be swapped. The bass could be just on the root going. Then you could have the guitar on, octaves up here just going. And that would be just as fitting, but I love that they've swapped it. It kind of tells me that the bass is going to be driving this song very heavily. And he was doing some fast slides. I want to go back and kind of catch that. But yeah, glad I can hear the bass on this one. Oh, right here. I want to see that slide thing he did. Playing hard. Yeah. Man, just giving it that real fast movement. It's almost the notes in between the 2 F sharps. He's going F sharp octave up here, but just that sliding just kind of gives it this just gravelly kind of pace. I love it. That little run there. Love that.
What was it that you sold you got traded before something more than you so jaded? Why is it that you never said I love you more than just a friend? Pray this grid line never ends.
All in A major.
Found out recently that you are leaving. But could I help by softly turn my ceiling? It's better now to be alive. Sleeping is my 9 to 5. Having nightmares all the time. Running out of rhyme. Everything that you could never say.
Hang on, that drummer. I love that. Really caught my attention. Those little just buttery fills he threw in there. Very precise. And I'm kind of watching Dan play as well. It seems like he's playing very hard, but his movements are it seems like they're very precise. And that's something one of our patrons mentioned as well, is that Dan tends to have very precise and articulate playing and motions. And that's kind of what I was focused in on going into this as well. But something about that little drum fill there was just awesome. The way it kind of glued in that rhythm section, turn around back to the verse, I guess. Let's see. This little beat here.
Woohoo!
I love that. Dan's jumping around. Okay, that's really cool. This part kind of opened up a little bit. You'll notice the rhythm just changed. I don't know if the guitars are a little more dynamically soft, but you can kind of hear this section open up right here. Less cymbals. Okay, and I like that that would have been an opportunity for bassist Dan to keep ripping in the way he has been in this first minute, but he's just kind of holding octaves. I like that restraint. It matches the song really well, and it kind of brings it down and gives them a chance to ramp up harder next time. But he's just kind of riding on those octaves now. And it kind of gives them the opportunity to jump around, which is an important thing. You got to kind of think about the live show sometimes. You know, what parts am I going to be more energized? What parts am I going to headbang? What parts am I going to move around? Well, it can't be a part that's kind of going... I mean, he probably could, but what I'm saying is that you want to look for those simpler parts to kind of compensate with your stage presence, and it just makes for a great show. And I just kind of caught that. As someone who played live a lot, I think about this stuff. Kind of keep it on one note. Just pro stuff here. Awesome. See, now he's a little more still, going back to that melody. And that's just a great balance. And again, seeing them live, I remember him jumping around like this, and it just immediately grabs you. But I could not hear this well. His lines just have such a bounce. They just have this warm, I don't know. They're just like this fun kind of bounce in the way he's hitting the accents, the kind of the notes in between the notes he's on, you know, going from chord to chord. There's little just dig it, just little, I don't know, you call them ghost notes. He's just kind of picking hard. I don't know, but it gives his lines a very fun bounce, kind of going all those notes down. He's not just hitting the notes, bap, bap, just playing it really percussively, I suppose. Those are the kinds of things that help a three-piece just sound bigger than they are. Just filling in the space where you can. Every instrument needs to be responsible, and that's just very intuitive on his part. Let's keep going. Nice quarky background vocals. Nice. I love that on that little slide part, he's not just going. He's kind of putting it on like the third beat. Just a beat I wouldn't think it would be on, which kind of makes those little jabs stand out rhythmically. Really interesting. There's that drum fill. That's just tasty to me. I know I'm not a drum channel, but I'm a sucker for some good drums when I hear them. Back to the kind of keeping it simple here. Nice little like 1-bar breakdown. That's interesting. You know, like any other pop song, not even punk or rock, but any other pop song, country, something, you know, it would get to this point in the song and you would kind of have that broken down section for like 8 bars and slowly build it back up. I like that they gave it 1 bar. They're like, nah, let's just get right back to it. That's cool. Watch this. I want to hear that again. Chase your wandering, I'm singing. Nope, right back into it. Something about that's really fun. Okay, they went back to it. But they don't let it last for long. Heard one little cool thing. He went up there, but didn't look like he went up this way. Looked like he just went up in the same kind of position 2 down here. Sounds like he went up to an A and a B. Let's see. A little smooth. Kind of went up pentatonic there. Fun stuff. Well, I have to say, it was fun seeing Alkaline Trio a second time live, and I look forward to eventually coming back and hearing something as far as a studio version, but this kind of took me back to that show a bit. I don't remember a ton about it, had some beers, I was there with a bunch of friends, but I just remember their whole energy and vibe just being really infectious, just as their energy on stage, the way the crowd was responding, their kind of banter between songs. Didn't have the best sound on the side where we were at, but great to revisit them in a multi-camera, live mixed. I could really hear the bass. And I want to say that this band kind of joins the ranks of where Jawbreaker fit into my punk rock discovery. Straight ahead songs, fun, upbeat, emotive, makes you feel good, but the bass has the reins. The bass is really what's driving that energy. And again, I love that when the song had just the slightest dynamic shift. It got a little more broken down in the drums. Dan Andriano, bassist, kept it simple with some octaves. And normally busier bass playing would stand out to me, but the simpler bass playing in punk is when I kind of pay attention. It's good dynamic restraint because the rest of the song, he was doing great slides, great phrasing. He would change the phrasing just a little bit from the previous time. It almost had like an ad-libbed improv approach. But yes, the bass fills, the playing was very tight, precise, and things like that are just what make those songs have the pocket and the weight they do, especially for being a 3-piece. So this was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Please like and subscribe, all that good stuff. If you'd like to support the channel further, come find me on Patreon. I'm doing full album reactions over there each month. And what can I say? You guys are always awesome. Let me know what else you'd like to see next. Cheers. Love you all. We'll see you next time.